Hi, my name is Alessandro Gangelosi and that's a video tutorial coming from cgcookie.com for MaxCookie. Today we'll continue to work at the Photoreal interior with VRay series, and this time I like to continue to prepare some furniture to have part of the room ready. So we'll move forward to arrive at the final image. And today I like to add some more stuff, and we have to put something there. I like also to check the measure between the little two furniture we just put over the inside the room. So let's use the tape, and we'll see that there we have 2.20 meters. So that's enough to have a little sofa. So let's zoom in this area. We can move the lamp just a little bit, let's say there, and then we can move this one. Let's go to check also the position for the other one, and the lamp is there, so it's nice. Okay, so let's create something to stay over the little furniture we created there. We can create some abstract and modern stuff, and we can make add in some vase, something not so big. So let's start picking this one with the lamp just to have a measure, and we put maybe some books there and the glass, and then we work on the other one. So let's peek and let's go in isolation. Okay, so let's create the glass. We'll model a really simple shape, so let's use something like that. So it will be a really simple glass. Let's work on those vertices, or maybe we can directly use the shape, and then we work to have the outline. Okay, then we can exit from the outline, and in the vertices let's work to have a fillet, and a fillet also there. Okay, nice. Let's remove the fillet, and we move this one just a little bit. Okay, let's use the lathe minimum, and let's say 40. It seems not bad. Affect pivot to the center, and let's move to the table. Let's call it glass, and we can move over this table there. Let's go in a perspective. Okay, that's a glass, so we can put something inside the glass. So we can maybe just make a clone. So let's go there, clone as a copy, and let's call it liquid. Set to off this one, and we can remove the segments. So we remove there, this one, and this one, and also there, and there, and there. Okay, this one we can move the vertices, and this will be right mouse button. I have a problem with the mouse. Okay, let's move it manually to use something like that, and let's say that's a corner. Okay, and then we have to close the spline, so we can go there, and we can create something like that. and then in the vertices there we can use the fuse, and there we can fuse too. Zoom, and this one can be there. In there I like to have another vertices there, and move this one just a little bit to simulate the fluids touching the surface. Okay, perfect. Let's see, it's better to use a new lathe. Okay, now it works. And this one again, let's call it liquid, and we can prepare two simple shader. Let's remove this one. This one will be the glasses. We use a VRay material, black color, freshener reflection, maximum reflectivity, and the freshener IRR will be 1.5 with just a little bit of reflection glossiness. The refraction will be, let's say, 210, and we'll have maybe 142, and affect shadows. And then let's work on the liquid. So let's remove this one, and let's call it liquid. And again, there we can use a black color, freshener reflectivity, and we can use, an higher IRR. Let's try with 1.6, and just a little bit of reflection glossiness too. The refraction will be higher, let's say 225. Okay, but this one and this one is the glass. Okay, and then there we use a color, so affect shadows, and we'll have a little bit of glossiness, so we try to simulate some kind of liquid there, and we say that the fog color is, let's say, a dark red. And let's say 0.4 or something like that. So let's go on the camera number 3 and hide everything, and I like to render just this piece. So let's go to render, and we need to see just this area, so let's try to have a bigger render. Let's go for a 1012.8. Okay, let's stop, and we render just this area there, and render. Okay, let's try to change some stuff. The first one is there. I like to have more transparency, so let's go for 235 for the glass, and there let's try to have a lower amount for the fog multiplier, and we can render again. Okay, maybe just a little bit less. Let's go for 0.1, and again render. Okay, so we have also this glass there, and that's nice, and I like to create a little book, but before we can create something bigger there, and maybe a vase. So let's pick this one, zoom, and we can create a vase model, and we'll try to do something in interesting. So we'll do a simple shape. Let's go for have a curve. Let's make something like that. And then a curve. Okay, so let's move and let's use lathe just to see how the shape will look with the minimum. Then let's change the vertices there. We can move those vertices because I like to have a less big shape. And then we can do something like that. Okay, we have to still move those vertices. Okay, that's not bad. So let's say that we need obviously to create the spline, and we have to create the outline inside. Okay, and then in the vertices there and there, but let's zoom this area. Okay, let's say maybe before just there we use a fillet. Okay, and then just this one, go near, fillet. Okay, perfect. So let's see the entire shape, and we can use the lathe, minimum. Okay, and our line there we can say to be adaptive to have a better interpolation. Let's go in a perspective so we can see just the model, and let's go for an edit poly, and let's check the edges faces. I like to see if we can do something over it on the model. So let's say that this one is a white. So let's create a simple material for this one too. Let's remove this glass from there, and let's call it white base. And we use a VRay material, and we go for a white color, and we can go for something reflective, so we go for a freshen reflection, medium reflection. We go for maybe 0.8 for the reflection glossiness. Nice. So just for a fast preview for this vase, just to be sure that it's going fine, and we make the area there and render. Okay, it seems not bad. Nice. So I like to add a little vase made in the same way, so affect pivot to the center, and we can make a clone. So let's zoom both, and let's say that we have this one there and the little one there. So as a copy, and we scale it, and it can stay on the ground. We have to move this one too. Okay, and again on the second one. Perfect. From the camera, let's see if we have to move it, maybe just a little bit over there, and just a fast preview to see how it is looking now. Okay, nice. Perfect. So we have something over the furniture there we can save. Okay, so now I like to create a little sofa, nothing so complex, but something to be put there. And let's start from there, from the top view. Okay, we'll try to model something there. And we'll try to do it using simple shape. So let's go for a chamfer box. Okay, so this one must be obviously higher. Sorry. Let's say that this one stay a little bit higher over the ground, and then it will be something like that. We do it a little bit more little, let's say 25 centimeters, 60 for the height and 90 for the width. So then the fillet sorry, is nice. Okay, and we can move this one near the furniture. Let's say that we have a little bit of segments if we need to make some changes to the shape, and I like to have a chamfer box down. Okay, we have to put in the right place, and I like to have a really little fillet, let's say it's 0.25, because this one will be a metal box at the bottom, and let's say that it is maybe 5 centimeters. And it is inside. Okay, let's zoom there and there. It is obviously bigger, and it is a little bit larger and a little bit longer. And this one, it's done using a chromic metal, so let's remove this one and we make a chrome sofa outside, and there we have a black color, freshen reflection 18 because it's really reflective, white color for the reflection, but we have a little bit of reflection glossiness, and then we have a little bit of anisotropy. Okay, perfect. So we have this piece, we have this piece too, but then I like to have this one. We can use a 3 FFD. Let's work on the control vertex, and I like to move a little bit. Okay, and there too we can move a little bit. I like to have a more irregular shape. Nice. And also there. Okay, perfect. So obviously we have the same thing on the other part, so we can select both, and from this point of view let's make a mirror as an instance. and we can move it until the other part of the room. Okay, nice. And save. Now we have to create a base there, so we can create another. Let's zoom back. Okay, we can create a base there, so we say something big in the same way, but this time this one will be a little bit less smooth. And let's move it. And we'll do it higher. Let's say maybe 30, 20 centimeters, 25. Okay, let's go for 25 centimeters. And then if we need more centimeters, we can play with it. Sorry. This one is down, but we see nothing down the sofa. And then now we need something to be put over. So this one is 180, let's say, and we can do 2 of 90 centimeters. So from this point of view, we go to have again the sample box. I'm not doing nothing so complex because our main purpose is to obtain something realistic in rendering. So it's not so necessary to have a so complex render done using a high modeling. So let's say 60. Okay, and let's say that there the height is 20 centimeters and the fillet is less. So let's start to work just with these pieces. And height. Okay, so let's remove the edges faces. Okay, this time maybe we can just create in this way, and we can decide to have let's see, again with the edges faces. Okay, let's go for the fillet. Okay, and let's use more step. Okay, let's go for perspective and zoom there. And then I like to have maybe a little bit more fillet. Then we can go to have 3 FFD, and we work with a lattice, and we select this part, the top area, and we scale it a little bit. Let's remove the edges faces, so just a little bit. Sorry. Okay, then let's pick this one, and this one. so it will be smoother than the other part. And then we can pick this area and move a little bit on the front. Then let's use an edit poly, and from this point of view we know that this one stays there, and we pick these vertices, and with the soft selection we move it a little bit, okay, and close and move there. Let's use a turbo smooth so I have something smoother, okay, and then we can create a little bit of noise. Okay, this part you see is smoother than the other one. So there, from this point we need a clone, so we make a copy and we can move it so there it can be bigger. Let's say that this one is scaled over one axis just a little bit, and this one too. And then we can change the shape there. The noise can be with a different seed, and we can work on the vertices there. Okay, same thing, on this one we pick these vertices and we move it, and this part can be moved, and both needs to stay a little bit down. Okay, so now we need something there, so we can create another chamfer, and we have, okay, then we have to move it. It will stay a little bit up. We need to have this one smooth too. And we make a little bit higher, let's say 50 centimeters. And for the other stuff we can stay with the value we have. Then I like to have more fillet. Okay, then let's start working with a 3FFD, and let's say that there it is. And there we can move it a little bit down. Okay, you see we are approximating the shape with just really a simple thing. nothing so complex. Okay. Okay, so let's go for a turbo smooth just to have more polygons to work on, and then let's go with a noise, nothing so complex, just a little bit of perturbance over the surface. Okay, and then we need a clone, and we can go for a copy. Let's move it. Okay, this one can stay there, but let's move there, and let's say that there we have, or maybe up, we have an edit poly. So we can work directly over the mesh. Okay, and we can do the same to the other one. Let's go for an edit poly, and we select the vertices. Let's sorry, and also there we can move a little bit. Okay, nice. So it's not a problem to see more details for the moment. We can go for something really simple. Then we can pick all those pieces, and let's do there another shader. Let's call it sofa, and also this one. Okay, let's exit from the isolation, and let's go in the camera and save, and we can go for something different from the other shader we are doing. So we can do something like that, maybe a little bit of darker color. Okay, then I like to have the freshener reflection, and we can go for 2. I like to have a little bit of reflectivity, but it will be really smooth. Let's go for 16 subdivision, and we'll have a little bit of anisotropy, and let's go for a different color, something like that. Okay, I like to see how it looks, so we can go back to a more little rendering, let's say 700, and back to the window there, and let's say this area, and render. Okay, so we can start to work on the shader. In general, I like to remove a little bit of violet color, so there, let's go for less saturation. Same there for the reflection. Okay, and it will be darker and still less saturation, and we'll have, let's say, 0.4, so really diffused reflection again. Okay, it is better than before. And I like to have also maybe a bump map, and we can go for a layer done using a noise. So let's go there and let's choose noise. We go for turbulence, and let's go to see a preview. maybe obviously it will be too much because we are not checking the scale and all the other things. So let's go for lower scale, let's say 35, with a higher level, let's say 8. Sorry. Okay, so it will be obviously lower, let's say maybe 10. I like just to have some little perturbation over the surface. It is still too much. Let's go for 4. I think we can go lower, but we can do something better. Let's go to have a composite. Discard, keep hold, and the second one will be a bitmap, and we'll have for sure something there from 3ds Max. Let's see. This one. So you see this map as something similar to maybe the mapping are not so nice, so we can pick there first of all, and let's use 02. Let's use a color correction to have a black and white map, so keep all map. Let's remove the saturation, and we can have more brightness and more contrast. Okay, we can use the same map as reflection, so we'll have more reflectivity in some area and less reflectivity in other area. Okay, but we start to have the necessity to see this one bigger, and we need also an higher quality, so let's go for the anti-alias, and there let's go for 32 and 4. Okay, we have to change the shape there. Let's see if something like that is okay. Okay, so the area will be this one. So you see we have complete visibility over the sofa model. Okay, so I like to have, first of all, let's say that we have no mapping there, and we have this one also for the reflection glossiness, but it will be used less, and this one will be darker, so we'll have less reflectivity, and we'll have more smooth result. Same there. Let's go for 1. Let's see the result, because it was too much reflective. Okay, now I'd like to have, okay, let's stop, and let's say that the reflectivity must be a little bit brighter, because you see we have some black area, so we can go lower with the contrast, and this map must be used with the tiling. So I know that it's not the best way to do it because we have no right texture there, but we have to do in this way. if you have a nice texture or you have time to work on the unwrapping of this model, you can do it. I'm trying to achieve a nice result with not so much efforts. Okay. I think that that's going not bad. That is nice. Right. So let's close there, and let's say that the bumping is active, and let's say that this one is obviously with the same tiling, but you have to recheck the tiling. It was 3 and 3, so back there 3 and 3, and we have 0, 2, and this one will be multiply or maybe an average. Okay, now the bumping is set to on. Let's see the result. But again, let's focus just on this area. Okay, it is not so heavy, so it can be nice. Okay, perfect. I like to make a test, let's say for this area there, and let's say that everything is ready. We set to OK. Let's select this camera, and we say that from the top specify focus, and we say that our focus is on the table. So we'll have the depth of field, and let's try to make a test. So we try to render. Okay, let's rescale the rendering. So we go for something like 650, and we remove the region there. Okay, let's render. Okay, let's select the camera. Let's double check that everything. Okay, let's say 150. Something went wrong. Maybe during the saving we lost part of the setting. Okay, let's try to change the F number. Let's go to 4. We have more light than before, but we start to see maybe a little bit of depth of field. You see, we have a little bit. Okay, so let's change again there the setting. Let's set 50. Okay, we have again a better lighting. Okay, so you see we have a little bit of depth of field on the back. Let's try to find a more interesting point of view. Let's say maybe something like that. Let's remove the angle snap. Let's see, maybe something like that. Let's go again a little bit lower with the shutter speed. And I like to see this part. Okay, I like just to see a little bit less window and a little bit more room. Okay, something like that. Nice. Let's see the final image, just a preview, obviously. This part to see if the amount of lighting is nice. Okay, so we have also the reflection there over the ground. Let's see this part too. And then we can go for the final render. In the next part, we'll work on more stuff on this side. So we have the possibility to render the scene from different point of view. Okay. We have to fix a little bit there. So let's work directly on this part. Okay, should be better. So save, and we are ready. So for this part, that's all, and I hope to see you back on Max Cookie to check for new tutorial coming from cgcookie.com. Bye.